You take the hedge away from around him, and I'll make him curse you. Nobody can get after Job because you protecting him. And God said, all right, you go it on and handle Job, but don't touch his soul, his life, anything you have, and that's when he destroyed everything. But Job maintained, the Bible says, Job maintained his integrity. When things are happening to you, you got to maintain your integrity in the midst of it all. That's the only way that you can prove that you're a child of God, by standing anyhow. In the midst of whatever going on in your life, you got to trust God to stand. Do you know he'll stand with you? Job said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. How many of y'all can trust God when things are going wrong in your life? You still can trust God. You still can praise God. That's why when you come in these doors, you ought to come in giving him praise and adoration. The Bible says, enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his court with praise. You ought to come in here with upraised hand, with uplifted hand to give God praise for what he's done for you and what he's doing for you right now. Where he brought you from and where he brought you to. God, he's a good God even if he doesn't acknowledge that. He's still good. Now David, who is the writer of this text, the Bible says that he was a man after God's own heart. Now who made that statement? God made that statement. There God said he's a man after mine own heart. You're somebody when God speak up for you. Hello, somebody. When God give you a title, you're somebody. Amen. You don't have to be somebody because somebody else give you a title. But when God gives you a title, you're somebody. So David, he is the writer of our text. And this is a song of dedication. David had built him a house, a new house. All right. And David wanted to dedicate his house unto the Lord. It said it was customary for the Jews whenever they built a new home that they always dedicated to God. And this was at the dedication. Amen. David thought about how good God had and is good to him at that present moment. How good God had been good to him. You know, Job had come through a whole lot of trials and tribulation. David had come through a whole lot of trials and tribulation before he became king of Israel. David had a whole lot of problems. Even though he was a man after God's own heart, he still was confronted with a lot of problems. Some people think that, well, he's a preacher, he's a pastor, why is he going through that? It doesn't exempt you. It doesn't exempt you because you are a child of God from going through trials and tribulation. David, even though he was a man after God's own heart, he went through a whole life. If you read the life of David, David was always encountering trouble, encountering difficulty in his life. He always, if it wasn't one thing, it was another that was happening in his life. First of all, he had problems with his father-in-law. Y'all know who his father-in-law was? Was King Saul. Saul had made a promise that the one who kills Goliath, he would give him his daughter. And David done just that. He a little old, they call him a little running boy. Went on the battlefront and all the soldiers of the Israelites was afraid of Goliath, but David went out to meet him. And Saul had promised, I'm going to give you, the man that killed Goliath, I'm going to give him my daughter and give him a whole lot more things. David said, I'll go fight him. Amen. And Saul said, if you're going to fight him, let me put my uniform on you, my war clothes on you. Because you can't go like that with your shepherd badge and with your staff. You need more than that. And so David listened to Saul. He put on Saul's armor. But it was too heavy for him. David said, look, I can't go to battle with this. I haven't tried it. Said, let me go with what I already have. Somebody said, me and Jesus is enough. And David put off Saul's armor and taking his shepherd bag and his slingshot and went out to meet Goliath. The Bible says when he got to the brook, he picked up 5 smooth stones to go meet a man of war. And he had his staff also in his hand. And when Goliath looked and saw him coming, he said, am I a dog? All right. That you come to me with a sling and a staff? All right. Am I a dog? Are you going to run me off with a stick? And he said, I'm going to take you and kill you and feed you to the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air. And David was looking at him, little young lad looking at him, unafraid because he knew that God was with him, unafraid. And David said, look at me, let me tell you one thing. You come to me with a sword and a spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord. He said, this day. Now, David talked some big talk. He said, this day I'm going to take your head from your body. And I'm going to feed your carcass to the beasts of the field. This day. He talks a mighty big talk. And the Bible said, when David got ready to challenge Goliath, instead of running from him, he ran to him. When you're a child of God, you don't run from your problem, but you go through them. You don't run from no problem. If you're a child of God, you have to confront your problem. And David did that from day one. And all of David's life, God gave him the victory. He had to go through it, though. He had to go through some things, you know. And his son got after him, tried to kill him, you know. Saul, first of all, Saul tried to kill him. He threw his javelin at him. So David had gone through something. So he said, I will extol thee, O Lord. For thou hast lifted me up, and have not made my foes to rejoice over me. Now you haven't let my enemy rejoice over me. And therefore I'm going to magnify your name. I'm going to glorify your name. I'm going to praise your name because of what you have been for me. And David goes on and says, oh Lord, my God. Now he said, oh Lord, my God. You may not claim it. But David said, I'm going to claim it. O Lord, my God, he that I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Sometimes we go through things, we feel like we're in the grave. Things that happen to us so bad. Thou hast brought up my soul from the grave, and thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. Sing unto the Lord, O ye saints of his. Give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. His anger endure but a moment, and in his favor